All right, let's talk about this. So we got a video going around, and is this the one where they? You know what? Hold on. Let me switch it up. There was one where they put they put out a modern audience. That was it.
That was it.
Fucking. As soon as you hear modern audience, boycott.
Yeah, so they put out a post talking about modern audiences, ladies and gentlemen. And
who did this?
This is the developer team that actually is doing the remake, Blooper Team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Konami outsourced it to Blooper Team.
Mm-hmm.
And Blooper Team is taking it over. So they're the ones that are pushing its whole modernity stuff. They're the ones who are being consulted by Hits. What is it?
Detection.
Hit Consultancy?
Hit
Detection. Yeah. And apparently, like I said earlier in the stream, hit detection is just sensitivity based. So they just want to, they're your sensitivity readers. Sweet Baby Inc. consults on DEI, whereas hit detection is sensitivity readers. But anyway, let's play the video. Okay. It's 2 minutes and 53 seconds, and I'll pause it on certain parts and we'll talk about it.
I'm very excited for people to play this game. There's no one aspect that I could say that I want people to experience, because I want people to experience all of it. It's such a journey. It's such a big part of our lives, and I just want people to be able to see it.
You start off with the person who sounds like they actually value the property.
I think that's how they always do it. They started off with the highest note possible, and then it just pivots from there. But anyway,
was actually how to make the game approachable for the newcomers who have not played the original, but at the same time to still retain the familiarity of the game that player remembers from 20 years ago.
I hate that thing where they say we got to make this accessible for people who never played the game. Yeah, at one point nobody had played the game, and then the game came out. And people played it. You know why? Because it's a game. You just release it again. Up-res the graphics, redo the sound, and fucking release it again. And you know what? I think we'll figure the rest out ourselves.
You're 100% correct. You know, when you talk about doing a remake or whatever, something like that, first off, I'm tired of them. But if you're gonna do it, just make it an HD version of it. Just give me the exact same game and give it a fresh coat of paint. That's all I really want.
Thank you.
Yes,
so you gotta do.
And with FF7, that's what they should have done as well.
And Crash Insane Trilogy did it the right way. They gave us the exact same game, but prettier with remastered sound. That's all you gotta fucking do, and we will buy that shit.
Yeah, that game sold, and Spyro as well. That's what they should have done with FF7.
Yep.
Here's the problem.
Well, you can get FF7 on an emulator with the updated graphics.
Yeah, you can mod it.
You can. The issue is you could take this two ways, right? And we obviously. Like, I obviously know what they mean when they talk about making games more accessible and all that. You know, you already know that means dumbing it down to the umpteenth degree and basically giving you journalist mode the entire time. We already know that they think that they can't do the same level of horror as they did in the original, so they're dumbing that down. So God knows they're probably going to dumb down the gameplay too. But I also understand from a technological standpoint, the controls for older games, PS1 games, even some PS2 games were pretty trashy. A lot of people in today's modern day are just too fucking dumb or just incapable of being able to utilize those controls. We see it play out. No, I agree. We see it play out a lot when people play original PS1 games on PC right now. You know, like Metal Gear Solid Collection is big right now.
Difficult.
And fucking Beardo and Epic Mike are struggling with the controls in the beginning because they're like, what the fuck is this tank shit? You know what I mean? Never seen that before. So I get that. I understand that aspect, but that doesn't mean that, you can modernize the controls, but we all know what they actually mean when they say they're going to modernize the game, right? They're not just talking about controls. They're not talking about the graphics. They're talking about the story. And let me just play this clip and then you can go, Will, but what she says coming up next.
It's fine.
This is just
aiming. In Metal Gear Solid 2 with the left stick is now completely alien to my hands because I'm so used to modern shooters. That was all I was going to say.
Yeah, and I totally get that. I get where people are coming from with that, but that's not what they mean when they say modernize the game. But they'll try to pass it off as such. But listen to what she says. Hold on.
Our goal from the very beginning was to maintain the game's atmosphere
while modernizing the gameplay to make it competitive in 2024.
But really quick, flat out, they do not maintain the atmosphere. The trailer alone is a totally different atmosphere, shot for shot from the original game. It's just not.
Sorry, I thought you were done. Go on.
No. That's it. It's just not. It's not the same atmosphere. The lack of fog. Everything is. Why is this playing? Everything is more colorful. It's not as dark and gritty, right? Like it's just not the same atmosphere. I'm sorry, it's not.
No, do you know what the atmosphere is? No, do you know the atmosphere is? Hey, we saw what the Resident Evil remake games did, and they made $1 gajillion. Let's just steal their atmosphere. When Silent Hill was never fucking Resident Evil, you're literally copying something else successful at the expense of your classic game.
Yeah, right.
So
Absolutely.
Is this supposed to be a remake or remaster?
Remake.
Ground
there was
up.
already a remaster. Am I? I'm right. There was a remaster a few years ago,
of 2 and 3
and it
on
had
PS3.
no.
I own it.
Yeah,
and it was terrible. People hated it. It had no fog again, right? That's what I heard anyway.
Everyone loved the remaster of 3, but 2 was not well received.
That's
it. Let's play this song.
In the remake, the story remains largely the same. However, with the magic of modern technology, we're able to expand on some of its aspects.
I hate the magic.
Right there, that statement right there is very important.
In the remake, the story remains largely the same.
The story remains largely the same. Who on this panel believes that?
Yeah, she says largely. We know she's
press X for doubt. Press X for doubt.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
I don't know why the story would not have to stay completely the same. Why does it have to stay largely the same? What is it about this story that you're going to change? That automatically tells you right then and there. They're going to change something in this story. What it is, who really knows? Either they're going to focus more on Angela, which is possible, or they're going to tone down some of the, what they showed in the original Silent Hill 2, like what Leon was talking about earlier. Or they could do a combination of all those things. But when someone says the story is going to stay largely the same, I'm not buying that the story is going to be the same at all.
Yeah,
I know this.
If you meant it would be the same, you would say this story is going to be exactly the same.
Right.
And if the story was going to be the same, then why would you need sensitivity readers?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Also, maybe this is maybe minor, but look at her, right? This is the typical new woman, right? Not really sexy, glasses, with moles, not really as super attractive. Like they're toning down everything, also very dark, and she has this very soft and kind appeal, but also not really beautiful or anything. It's just mediocre people, right? We always want to, no, but this is like the whole movement is based
savage
on
today,
mediocrity.
Coach.
I'm sorry.
You're laying the smackdown
because
on a
this
Polish woman.
Coach,
don't you find that ironic? As a
Polish
German?
Coach, that's beautiful and eloquent, but I would just say don't use the word minor during Pride Month.
Dun.
Probably not a good idea. Let me keep going.
However, with the magic of modern technology, we're able to expand on some of its aspects.
The hardest was designing combat. We want to be as faithful as possible to the original game. But also we want players to feel satisfaction while playing, remembering that we need to fit in horror.
She looks like her. Look, that's her.
I don't.
That's not an impressive
person. That's the face.
Yeah.
That's the face for the girl.
Who's the one who
could be?
There is one that looks like a self-insert.
Well, to be fair, Will, the one that looks like a self-insert was just the Sony employee that was presenting the whole state of play event.
Yeah,
she didn't actually work on the game.
Aren't they trans?
No,
I don't fucking know.
I honestly don't know.
There was someone presenting this who was trans. I thought it doesn't matter.
Standards.
So when making a game with static cameras, you as a designer have much more control over what players sees, where they go, and so on. The change for the third-person perspective was a challenge. That being said, it's a chance for us to expand this world, to show the players new elements that were previously inaccessible, and just make this game richer.
The
main thing that requires rethinking was the fog, because it was called classic in the original game, and it's a veil that covers the world and makes it.
Now, again, the fog was so thick in the original game, you could barely see a couple of feet ahead of you. The whole point in the ambiance of the game was not knowing what was going to be around the next corner. Like you couldn't see anything, especially when you started hearing the noise on the radio. That was like, oh shit, where's it coming from? Where is it coming from? And it's just, you get that level of fear. I don't think you're going to get that here. And I'm going to show you where exactly, because if you look at this shot right here, I could see from multiple buildings down. Like the fog is going to be there, but it's going to be very minimal.
But not only that, Hypno, because the fog in the original, the second one, Silent Hill 2, served two purposes. Like you said, the atmosphere, but also it was a draw distance thing. They're like, hey, we can't load so much on screen that'll make it lag. So they used the fog to cover up the fact that all these buildings shit hadn't loaded yet. So you had technological innovation, like, hey, we've got this problem in the game with draw distance and the game loading improperly. How do we fix that? Let's add fog as a way to enhance the atmosphere while also covering up a technical aspect of the game. That is innovation. What are you modern game developers doing that's fucking innovative like that? Oh, we got battle passes. Shut the fuck up, you fat.